You say thanks instead of thank you, and for 3 nights, you lie awake staring at the ceiling, replaying that interaction on a loop. Your brain stress tests every syllable like a lawyer preparing for court, analyzing facial expressions and tone long after the other person has forgotten you even exist. This is usually the same mind that narrates its own life out loud, loses its phone while it's still holding it, and suddenly realizes it hasn't heard a word of a conversation for the last 5 minutes. These behaviors are often dismissed as social anxiety or simple clumsiness, but they are actually predictable outputs of a specific neurological configuration. Think of the brain as a biological computer. When you exhibit these restless traits, your internal processor is running in an overclocked state. High-speed data intake doesn't always translate to smooth behavior. Instead, it creates friction as the system struggles to manage the sheer volume of incoming information. To understand why these social misfires happen, we have to look at how an overclocked brain handles its background applications. This animated logic tree represents rapid internal processing. A high IQ brain runs multiple analytical applications simultaneously, making overthinking the default. It forces non-stop scenario generation, building mental worlds in the background. When an internal thread spikes, your brain effectively yeets itself into a rabbit hole. This isn't rudeness or a lack of interest. It is the result of rapid internal processing taking full control of the wheel. Science links this constant inner world building to superior creative problem solving and complex imagination. Looking distracted to the outside world is the visual evidence of a brain operating at its maximum analytical capacity. Processing speed is only half the battle. The brain also uses a strict protocol called cognitive filtration to manage its memory limits. This is why you can effortlessly solve a multi-layered engineering problem, but routinely forget where you put your charger or when your sister's birthday is. As shown in this capacity meter, the brain actively deletes what it deems unimportant to save room for deeper focus. The data for eat lunch is ejected from the buffer, so the system can lock in a massive block of random facts about orbital mechanics. This absent-mindedness is an efficient resource allocation strategy, prioritizing high-level processing over mundane logistics. When this hardware interacts with the physical world, it produces specific environmental and social output errors. When the brain is juggling a massive volume of information, externalizing thoughts through self-talk helps organize data and stabilize emotional control. Similarly, the wit required for a dry roast relies on rapid pattern recognition and subtle language processing, functions that fire faster in a brain wired for high cognitive output. This need for high bandwidth input makes small talk about the weather feel physically draining, and pointless rules feel like a system error. High IQ individuals instinctively ask why before how, because their minds crave novelty and depth. They aren't trying to be difficult. They simply reject blind obedience. These social glitches are the byproduct of a system that is naturally tuned to reject low bandwidth information. Overthinking, memory gaps, and social friction are the necessary costs of operating high-performance cognitive hardware. If your mind refuses to sit still, it isn't because something is wrong with you. It's because your processor is built for a different level of engagement. An overclocked brain is built to decode the world. Are you doing this too? Subscribe to keep track of how your mind works.